With all the talk about Common Core and Florida's new standards, you may wonder how today's high schools are meeting the challenge. To see how one language arts teacher and his colleagues are paving the way in this new era, let's take a visit to Godby High School, where digital text and resources are changing instruction for the better.
In our district, they wanted to make sure all the teachers, regardless of the school they were at, had a curriculum that they were comfortable with, but that it was also the same. Went through the whole adoption process as a district, and the teachers, not the administrators, but the teachers just felt really strongly that the HMH curriculum had everything that they needed in their classroom. It had a strong interactive and digital piece, it had the rigor, it had the complex text, and it was what they were most comfortable with.
Collections is a brand new literature program. It's the first program of its kind, and it's the only program that I know of that's been developed specifically for Common Core.
For right now, your writing prompt is, what is your idea of freedom and equality? Okay, we've read.
I just dived right into the HMH Collections based on the training and based on having the people from HMH come in, and it's an easy book to jump into and really, and dissect every part of it.
We're gonna go through today this close reader today together.
The way that I prepare for the HMH Collections and in my lessons is very simple. It's teachers sit around, we actually go through reading the text first through as if we were the students, and then we go back and we look at the teacher wrap. It's all about collaboration whenever I want to have a good lesson with HMH Collections.
At Godby, we're very much about collaboration because we want to know what's happening in each other's classrooms. Because we're all doing such wonderful things, we want to incorporate those elements that work best for us. We get out of these walls so rarely that if you don't push yourself to do that, then you're not going to learn from your peers. And it's really important for education to stay alive, I think, to get into other classrooms, and we don't have enough time to do that.
One thing that I really love is the key objectives are very, very clear in HMH Collections. So the students know what they have to do and the skills that they need to know in order to be successful at our performance task or any assessments that they would have to take.
Students are able to cite textual evidence. We have line numbers in the text. They can then cite the evidence that shows where they got the information that they're using to answer the question.
What I loved about his response is that he used textual evidence. Where was the textual evidence that he used? Who can tell me?
Teachers like that because it makes it easy for them to see where the evidence came from, and for kids it makes it much more palatable than trying to pick an information from just a page with paragraphs on it and trying to document where it came from.
It really strives for the students to have reasons behind their answers, reasons behind their thought process. The students at first didn't like the idea of reading and rereading, but now that they got accustomed to it, it gives them the aha moments every single time, and we go back and say, now let's look at this. Let's look at this in a different way.
It does allow the teachers to be flexible, especially with some of the interactive pieces that they can choose to build in or choose to use if they want. And then again, even with some of the assessment pieces, when they choose to use them, or the questioning strategies and the question stems. So it's not you start here and you end here. You can start here and you can go over here, and you can pull all these different resources and pieces in. And they like that teachers still, because they still want to do a little bit of their own, and the HMH allows them to bring who they are into the curriculum as well.
It's interactive. There's a lot going on with it. It's colorful, especially with the dramas that we're reading. They have different characters that sound like that would be the character. If it's an old woman, like Rebecca Nurse in The Crucible is an older woman, she sounds like a raspier old woman. So it's much more relatable to them, so they're really falling in love with it.
The game changer here is the fact that this could be an entirely paperless program. With this text and with this program, students can actually do their writing online, they can take tests online, teachers can have an online grade book, and everything can be done completely online.
Speech by Bill Clinton. Thank you very much, Governor Keating and Mrs. Keating.
What I've noticed with Patrick is that he embraces the technology. He uses his smartboard all the time. the text is on the board or the assignment is up there or whatever it is he's working with, he's up there manipulating it on the board.
Technology, it's what our kids know, so we have to find a way to incorporate that into the lessons. And even with the HMH and the screencasts and some of the digital content that they have, he loves it. He wants to use it, and then he wants to add to it. And so it's the way our kids learn, and it's kind of the way of the future. It's the way we're all learning these days.
The collections are helping to pair with the standards in that they're on every page of the text. So in that, the teacher immediately can use that in the classroom, and the students know as well because it's referenced throughout the class period.
We want something aligned to the new standards and aligned to what we think the FSA assessments are going to look like. And that assessment piece with HMH is really, really strong.
It is the only language arts book on the market that was developed from scratch specifically to meet the new standards that are out there. So everything the teachers are teaching from that collections program is part of the new standards that are being used across the country. If the standards change at any point, of course the book is online, so we could make changes to that online book. That's a possibility.
As far as my future with HMH Collections, I'm really interested in navigating all parts of what they offer, from the textbook to the online, and have my students really navigate that. So I just wish I had more time to do all that. We couldn't be happier with the results from what they offer.